So I'm here at the Millington Baker Center. It's where everything just went down about a week ago. Not quite. Just reporting on what's happening. So just came here to the actual spot where we want to kind of do a little clarification. So hopefully this doesn't offend people, but for me to do my best job, and I want to do the best job I can, it's going to offend somebody. But nowadays, there's really no excuse to be ignorant. There's so much information out there. Access to information is there. So there's really no excuse to not know what's going on. So it's all about action. I'm just showing you action. So I took action last week, and I'm just reporting on what I've done. So everything that I'm doing, I'm either telling you what I've done, what I'm doing, or what I'm going to do. But if I tell you I'm going to do something, it's because I have the ability to do it. So it's interesting. In the event that we had here at the Baker Center, it was in room 6. And I was talking about the difference between a 6 and a 9, right? 6 and a 9. But the thing is, looking at it from a different perspective, you can see it in a different way. But there is that perspective. There is a line there, and that line is you. You're the observer. You're a consciousness. So if you don't include yourself in the equation, you can get confused whether it's a 6 or a 9. So I'm showing you the example of the life of a 9. And what is the life of a 9? Someone who knows who they are. And as silly of a question as you think that may be, a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't have the experience of that. And it goes deeper than that, because if you look at this reality, that is the core of all of the problems that are going on here. So everything that's happening here is a result of action, right? So we're living in a world of action. So someone takes an action and then there's a reaction. But the thing is, what is the root cause of that action? What is the driving force of that action? So there's a lot of things that are wrong with this reality and what's going on here. And you can look in the news, you can see all of the shooting and all of the things that are going on, all of the corruption and just the craziness that we experience here in this reality. So there's a lot of ill intent, action that isn't necessarily for peace and for the greater good. But the thing is, I wanted to know what is the purpose of that action, like what is the motivation of that. So if you really look at it, if you really go down and you look at the root cause of things, it's a spiritual thing. There's a spiritual war that's going on right now. And people will kind of understand that from a level, and they look at the Bible and other religions and they say, well, hey, yeah, spiritual wars exist, this and that and the other, but they don't think that it's going on here right now. Like, we're seeing the effects of such a war. Like, we're seeing the actions of this manifestation of a spiritual war. And when I talk about the difference between a 6 and a 9, knowing that you're more than your body, basically, there's more than the physical. The physical is just the cause of a spiritual thing. So it's like saying the internet. It's like a computer actually thinking they are the internet. The internet comes through the computer. Or it's like a radio thinking it's the radio station. The radio station comes through the radio. Just like your consciousness, your soul, spirit, whatever you want to call it, comes through you. So that's what you truly are, who you truly are. So when I say the life of a 9, that's living that life. So what I truly am is coming through my physical being, my radio, my computer, and we're biological computers, right? So what I'm showing you is the manifestation of this, and it goes pretty deep, but like I said before, the things that I'm doing on a level it's already done. So you got this, you got the reality show, the Trueman Show. So this is me, the life of a 9, right? And I'm saying that as we're all 9s. But if you believe you're a 6, then you look at yourself differently. You will look to other people, and religion will tell you you should worship 9, or you need to do something to get the love of something out there, and we can go into that, and we will go into that. But I'm just letting you know that the whole game is for you to not know your own power so that it can keep you controlled. But when someone is off the hinges, when someone knows that they're not a 6 and they're actually a 9, if you will, it becomes different. It becomes scary in a sense. You become unhinged. You become unplugged. So these broadcasts are just like Neo broadcasting live in the Matrix. And it's interesting. While some of the foremost thinkers in this reality, some of the quote-unquote smart people, They're looking at this thing if it's actual simulation and all that, but they don't even look at who's in the simulation. And if it is a simulation, what can you do within this simulation? What actions are you taking to make it a better simulation or the best simulation it could be? So all of that really is just one way to say that we can do much better than we're doing now. And I'm just showing you an example and putting in the work, and you're just seeing the manifestations of that. So when I say root cause, a lot of people are trying to fix things by just looking at the leaves. So the root cause of all of that, and it's not even the trunk, it's what's underneath. It's the spiritual thing. So that's what I'm trying to get to, the root cause. So that's what I focused myself in everything that I've been working on, is that is the key. That is the key. So I put out things like the 100-degree challenge and put out videos and try to do things as creatively as I can, or as I could, to illustrate this, because people don't read. That's why I do videos and stuff like that, to try to break it down and try to make it digestible for the average person, because you're not going to hear this tomorrow, which is Sunday. They're just going to tell you that someone else did something for you, when this is the work you need to do for yourself. It's an inner work. You have to wake yourself up. You got to stop dreaming, living in the dream world. So what I'm showing you is basically my journey, and my journey involves this kind of thing. This is what my life is about. So I just wanted to kind of put that out there as it goes into another gear. And yes, it's true, I am the first awake presidential candidate, so that is history. I'm making history right now. I'm not going to wait for other people to catch up to me. I'm just going to continue to create and continue to leave breadcrumbs and be on my journey. So I just wanted to put that out there, and you're going to see the journey unfold in YouTube and Google. Not YouTube and Google, but YouTube and Facebook. So why do I put it on YouTube and Facebook? It's because those two things are the two major controllers of information here on social media. So, and those things will be repositories. So they can basically hold the information. So you can see everything has been documented up to this point. I continue to do that until I feel that's it, because I'm going to continue to learn. I'm going to continue to share what I learned on my journey. So the two things, you got the presidential run. So it's interesting. Everything that I'm going to do is going to be included in this, and it hasn't even been done yet. And the reality show is just going to be that journey leading up to that. So there you have it. So you kind of see everything, giving you a bird's eye view. And just don't think, because I don't speak about this stuff all the time, that I'm not thinking about it or that it's not going on. Just because I have a regular 9 to 5. You got to think even Superman worked at the Daily Planet as a reporter. So I'm just reporting on the knives. And what I'm going to show you is, of course, I'm not the only one. And we're going to come together, and you're going to see that it's not just me, it's other people, but we're in pockets, and a lot of them don't speak out as much as they could because of fear, ridicule, and all that stuff. But again, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but you can show me where I'm wrong. I put out the 100-degree challenge so that we can see what we can agree on as truth. So if you got a question on what it is to be a 9 and what that means, look at the 100-degree challenge, and we can have a conversation based on that. A lot of people don't want to look at that because they're invested in their belief system, basically. But the mind is like a parachute. It doesn't work unless it's open. Not saying that you got to take everything that I say as truth, but in order for you to learn, you have to have an open mind. You have to be willing to say that there's things you don't know. Just like I can say there's things I don't know. There's plenty of information out there. So I think I've said what I wanted to say. I'm trying to keep these short, but sometimes the language just doesn't allow you to communicate this the way that I feel could be done. If I can just give you the feeling, it'd be a different story. But I got to try to convey all this stuff and unpack all of this data, and that's what's kind of been going on. So you're going to see it. I'm going to post this on all the medias, and we're going to line this thing, and there's going to be steps. I'm going to do something, and this guy's going to do something, and it's going to build up. Just like the event we had here, it did what it did, but after that event, I had a conversation with an educator who was basically saying that he was going to look into some stuff and basically help out from his standpoint. So that's how it's going to start, with people joining in and saying, I see what you're trying to do, and I'm going to do whatever little piece I can do. That's all I'm doing. And together, we're going to be able to do this thing. Like, imagine a policy on education that's done by educators. Like, what a thought, right? So we're capable of doing that, and it's just going to be up to us to do it. So that's it. We're at the Baker Center. This happened last Sunday, and I'm just reporting on what happened. And there you have it. So I'll holler at y'all later.